Let me first get this out the way, and you know how I like to start off my Facebook Lives by first saying God is great all the time. And once again, I repeat that God is great all the time. Now, I got a very important message out there for all Virginia and all those across America because our country is the best nation on earth by far. Love is the root of how America grows, how it builds and moves forward all across this country. But money and not campaigns, money in general, has always been the root of all evil. See, we allowed our elections to be about money. And that's what the politicians learned. And they decided to start practicing onto that policy and not making America come together, but further dividing us based off of a dollar bill. See, when you are a leader, good or bad days, no matter what, there has to be a core inside you that says that I will not sell out. I will not give up families. I will not give up our children for a dollar bill from the devil. We got to get to that point. But let's get it clear. We will get to that point because we all tired of it. Everybody is tired of it. Money shouldn't be buying our elections. Who you are as a person and how you lead should be the number one priority for each and every single voter out there, regardless of who you are and what political affiliation that you carry. This is a sad time, people, where people all across this country is worrying about what tomorrow brings and exactly what the government will do in order to make them feel less and less of who they was the day before. We cannot sell out our families and our children during this most crucial time. In a time of a pandemic and a crisis of leadership, leadership must be at home. See, we spend too much time on money and not enough time on love. Because, see, love is what exactly gets you through the thick and thin. Money can't buy you out of that. Money can't even buy you love that's so priceless and unconditional that it measures you by everything that you do in bringing home the best of the best in you. It's because at home you feel protected because everybody at home has your back. And you will do anything and even die for your family. Because that's what it means to show love not only for your family, but to present that all across Virginia and America. I'm very happy that I'm married to the most beautiful woman on this earth, through thick and thin. And to my whole entire family that has been with me through thick and thin. That's how I look at Virginia, being there for them through thick and thin, and won't sell out my morals and my core beliefs for a dollar bill. I will not. When we decide on moving Virginia forward, it is about what we do not only as politicians and candidates, but what we do as people all across this country to show that the future will be better than our past. But we cannot do that if we cannot fix ourselves and start understanding that it is bigger than us what we are fighting for. We are fighting for our children's future, and I'm fighting for everybody's future here in Virginia, and giving the promise we will get this right. We will have Virginia moving forward. But Let us not get so selfish that we leave the ones who've been with us through thick and thin behind. Our kids is asking for leadership, and they are asking you, being heads of households, to give it. They have seen their world shut off. They have seen their friends who they can't see every day. They have seen all their activities be taken away in a whim. But we cannot allow them to be more victims than what they are right now. We must draw their attention to say America is better than this. We can't allow the monsters and those who prey on us to continue to be the monsters for our kids because we was too scared to step up to them. And a lot of us is not stepping up to them because we're getting paid off and bought off by these salty politicians. And these salty politicians are being paid and bought off so they can sell the soul of America and our children. That's why I'm so hard right now on politicians today. I'm so hard on them because, see, y'all was supposed to be there to represent the people, but you're there representing yourself. Lining your pockets, selling out America, selling out our children for those who don't give a damn about their welfare. They are the ones making victims out of our children. Sandusky, R. Kelly, Ted Nugent, whoever you may be, I will not sell out my children for a dollar bill for any one of you. If a 32-year-old man, just like many of these other pedophiles out there, came to this father right here, came to my wife right here, and said, I've been having sexual relationships with your 16-year-old daughter. I don't care what time or of history that is. I don't care how it seemed that it was normal. It wasn't normal. My gun would be cocked as soon as I heard that you was a 32-year-old man messing with my 16-year-old daughter. And the second you would have said that you've been having sexual relations, you would have been walking out in the body bag. I can tell you that. You ain't gonna tell me or justify that crap. I'm a father. My wife is a mother. And we love our family unconditionally, and we ain't gonna sell out a dollar bill for any one of you pedophiles, any one of you monsters, any one of y'all that hasn't been held accountable because your state may have a statute of limitations. Because you ain't gonna be limited with God's wrath, and you damn sure ain't gonna be limited with me. And I damn sure ain't gonna be bought off to give you cover. Never that. Never ever that. We are better here in America, regardless of political affiliation, for crap like that. We are. Because our children is our future. And our children must know we will protect them. And right now is the time frame of leadership of making sure that they come first, because damn sure we don't want the pedophiles to be in their place. See, it's more serious when it comes down to it, when people start realizing what is going on in somebody else's household is going to be right in theirs. Then they want all of a sudden act like they woke up. Oh, it affects me now, so now I have a problem. You should have had a problem with it a long time ago, and we damn sure still have a problem with it right now. Sex trafficking, selling our kids, giving pedophiles legal guardianship as excuse. Why would you need to be a legal guardian if what you was doing then was legal then? Why would you say and admit that you are a monster, but nobody has locked this monster up, but we locking up the ones who ain't even bragging about it? But the fact is, I'm not going to be on a stage. I'm not going to placate or go ahead and appease Nobody. And none of you as family should appease and placate nobody that would victimize your children. You cannot have it one way or the other and claim you family values. We love them too much. We love them so much that we want them to have a better life than we do, no matter how high on the totem pole that we are. We can't do that by accepting exactly the monsters that go ahead and get in their way. That's exactly what we are here for, to make sure we protect and take out the monsters so they can have a clear path to wherever they want to be and not be held up by those who prey and victimize on them. We are better than that. And for anybody who thinks or wants to justify that mess, this is a message to you loud and clearly. Virginia is not going to harbor sympathizers to that. Because you sympathizers are part of the problem, because you've been paid off too. And if you haven't been bought off, your silence is definitely making up for the compensation. We got to do better, especially now. It's on the line right now for each and every one of you families out there. When you look at your wife, when you look at your mother, when you look at your daughters and you look at your family, do you give a damn enough about them not to sell them out for $1 bill and basically take up for those who preyed on them? No, I hope you'll be in court making sure justice is done and they are locked in a prison cell, and making sure you show your family that you are not going to be a victim ever if it takes you being the one to sacrifice and pay the price for that. That's exactly what we was brought into this world for. That's exactly how our ancestors raised us. They raised us to make sure we kept the family strong. That's a Republican way. But at the same time frame, I'm not going ahead and giving exemptions to others. Because we are better than that as Americans. We are better than that as Virginians. So the message will be very clear. I'm not selling my soul or what I stand for these monsters. Nor should you. Nor should you compromise. You ain't the one who put yourself in that situation, but be damned if they put somebody else in it that you love. And be damned if they parade around under some politician's flag trying to celebrate what they got away with. They didn't get away with nothing, because like I said, vengeance shall be of the Lord. It shall be. This is the type of leadership during this time frame. Pay attention to what these politicians and these people are doing while your life is going into a toilet, and what they are doing to help fix it. They can't just say, oh, I'm a vote, or they can't say, I can't matter. That's exactly why we shouldn't have voted for you in the first place. This is the time for leadership. This is the time frame for people to see how you lead. But if you will leave Virginia families and their children behind for $1 bill, you are damn sure leave Virginia behind for your own special part in your ego. Mental illness isn't just in the low-income community. We got too much mental illness in those who represent us, and we are finding it and seeing it right now, that Virginia and America have went in the wrong direction when we succumb to monsters and animals that have preyed on us, and then decide to let them go and let them think that they don't have a special debt in hell to pay for it. Because we hold people accountable. You want to be held accountable? You want the terrorists to be held accountable? Make sure them terrorists or pedophiles is held accountable to the same standard. Because they may not be having sex with your kids, but they damn sure taking your kids' soul. So here in America, we fight back. We will continue to lead in a way that has more respect and more dignity, not only for ourselves, but to make sure our children know that we have set the standard, so they know and their children know that this is exactly how America does business. and we won't compromise. So if you want forgiveness, like some of those say they have a saving grace. But make sure you ain't making $1 off of that saving grace. So this is Merle Rutledge, the 2021 candidate for governor of Virginia. Merle Rutledge fighting for our kids against these animals and monsters, no matter who they are. That's exactly what Virginia needs, and that's what I will do. But I ain't going to wait until I'm in the governor's mansion. We are going to come together and start fixing the problems here today and moving this country forward. So if you are a Republican or a supporter, whatever it may be, it's time to use the pen because it's definitely mightier than the sword. We are going to start coming up with solutions to problems, not expecting the politicians to do it for us. We owe a duty to make sure this country continues to be great and continues to be great again and again. And it takes all of us being on board to make it happen. Accountability and responsibility isn't for us to push for somebody else that we can do for ourselves here in America. We are bigger and bolder, and we owe our children more. So we need to start participating where these politicians have abandoned us. We need to start making sure the message is clear, whether it's to the media, whether it's to the politician, whether it is to your local government. We need to make sure that we are now participating in the solution that has doomed America and its future. Because I see a light at the end of this tunnel, and it's called Americans from all walks of life and backgrounds saying to themselves, it's time for us to come up with a plan and to make sure that plan is heard loud and clearly, that leadership isn't dead. America leads the way. And like I said, America doesn't deal with just politicians. It deals with each and every one of you to say, I am going to make sure I do my part. And doing your part is now showing that leadership for those in your household. Defending them, but also protecting them with, of course, God's grace, but also showing them this is how you make change. You don't need to burn down the building. You do not need to hurt innocent people. You do not need to go ahead and hurt police. You do not need to hurt businesses. You do not need to hurt each other to get change. We get changed by all of us being on board and setting the bar, not letting the politicians set it for us. That's what they've been doing. That's what they've gotten comfortable with. That's why America is burning the way it is. Shoot, term limits should have been there. Accountability should have been there. But too many people were buying off which version of accountability. That's why Republicans and Democrats don't trust in the investigation. Because they're like, you haven't even investigated the person who's been doing it, but you definitely doing this to make sure you benefit yourself. We need to all be held accountable and all be held responsible, and we all need to start coming up with plans to get us out this mess, because the politicians can't do this alone, because the politicians have been comfortable where they've been at. We need to make the message clear that you haven't been listening to America, so America needs to force you to listen to us. Flood their emails, flood their telephone lines, flood them with everything that you got, because exactly they need to know exactly that America is not going to be ignored any longer. We have shut down enough without y'all having a plan. But we have millions and millions and millions and more of the most brilliant minds all across this country that can go ahead and do something about this right now. And it's time for us to get together and get this right. Because we can't just wait for November. We can't just wait till next year. We need to know what we are dealing with right now. Because this shouldn't be, I'd rather the devil I know than the devil I don't know. This should be about knowing the America I know and knowing the America that I should be able to depend on. And that's exactly starts with this type of leadership. And I will fight each and every day, and I demand that you fight each and every day. I demand that you also talk to your families each and every day, those conservatives with wisdom, those who have lived long enough to see the mistakes, those who have been on the up and down, and you have that talk with them that you expect way more for your future and your children than America is expecting from you. Because the way we change minds is for us to change our own minds on exactly what it takes for America to move forward. And what it takes for us to want our children to live in America where they are safe, where they continue to be free and continue their pursuit of happiness. Because right now we are in the wrong direction. But right now it takes a moment to start putting ourselves and our focus to be positive, putting us in the right direction. And it doesn't take politicians talking to us. It takes us talking to each other. Having the uncomfortable conversation. Saying what's really going on in your life. Don't pretend to be something that you're not. And this is how we start fixing America. By fixing each other. That's why Virginia is for lovers. So show that love. Show it unconditional. But those who put up with your bullshit. Because guess what? You've been putting up with theirs too. But guess what? You're better for it. You're stronger for it. You have more dedication and commitment for it. Because it's been committed to you. And America represents all of that. Because your love was made in America. Your love for family was made here in America. And America will always love you as the greatest nation on earth. And that's exactly why we say, God bless America.